Oh, you only got to look. They're going up everywhere.
How can you be sceptical when LA's on fire?
Well,
You're right, so this is LBC. My little response to it coming up. We're just going to pause in between this little interview, this little clip, just to add a few things in there while it's going on.
it was started. It was started on purpose. But by
Not all of them weren't. We don't know that.
So he's already admitted. He said not all of them. So basically, some of them were. So if some of them were, why wouldn't that mean all of them were?
Ah, they were by the governments.
It says by the governments. Well, does anyone really trust the governments in today's day and age with everything that's gone on? Bear in mind, the left, the useful idiots at LBC, are always going on about the rich. But do you not think the rich might have a plan to maybe destroy this land so they can buy it up cheap? Maybe something like that. You're telling me they couldn't pay certain people to go and set these fires? Instigate these fires?
By the governments? Oh,
yeah,
give over.
they want to flatten.
Just to add a little bit extra as well, looking at the UK or America, the Western world, what will be the chance that the worldwide decay is happening all around us? The government is supposed to protect the citizens. Our country, talking in terms of Britain, in England, is now, there's daily stabbings. There's literally a stabbing that occurs nearly every day now because of imported people from the third world. Loosely as well. It's not like they've vetted people coming in to see who they actually are. They're also housing people that we don't know anything about. They're all young fighting age men from around the world in hotels. So why would anyone trust the government to be on your side in today's day and age? And the lefties as well. Well, the governments, you're against the governments anyway, and you got Trump coming in soon as well, so you'll be even more having your knickers in a twist.
The places and put the new smart cities up. That's all it's for.
They want to flatten LA to put up a smart city.
Yep. That's part of the agenda.
Right, what is a smart city?
It's all these high rises going up. It's 15-minute cities, surely you've heard of them. They're going up everywhere.
They're not going up everywhere, there aren't they?
They are.
They're not. They're not going up anywhere, there aren't any. Fucking hell, it works in London. Like London, the skyscrapers going up everywhere. You look at the skyline of London only 40 years ago to today. St Paul's Cathedral, you could probably just see it naturally. You wouldn't need to look in between buildings. If I ever stay at the Union Jack Club and I look out, across towards the Shard, and it's just big, ugly buildings everywhere. The high-rise buildings is obviously part of it because communist architecture is designed to destroy any individuality. It's to make the whole world one big mishmash with no identity anymore, because then they can bring in the global government and to deny the 15-minute city idea. There aren't any, as you say. So I just quickly, little old me, just typed it onto Google. WEF smart cities, because I knew the World Economic Forum would obviously be entangled in it. Straight away, there's a long document about smart cities, governing smart cities, cities of tomorrow, Global Future Council of the Future of Cities, and you wonder why towns and cities are becoming dangerous hellholes now. Obviously, a smug lefty little ponce, LBC, doesn't probably have to live in somewhere like Ilford or I don't know, Catford was quite bad this weekend, Lewisham was quite bad. I'm sure you don't have to live amongst it. You'll be in some Hampstead Heath suburb well away from it all.
They are, you only got to look. They're going up everywhere.
How can you be sceptical when LA's on fire?
He's absolutely spot on. I know he's a bit like me, obviously the caller. He's not articulate as such. He's not necessarily probably academically clever. Like myself, he's just an ordinary sort of guy. He's up against people who are academically clever, but they've got no common sense. And I do wonder sometimes whether they're one of two things really. They're either useful idiots who don't quite get it and live in such a comfortable life out on the outskirts of the real world, but they don't see the reality of what's going on, or they're sinister bastards and they're obviously put in place to entangle. They're like what's his name, O'Brien in 1984. They're designed to just destroy your mind, entangle you in. Like politicians, when they talk for ages and don't really give you an answer. But yes, let's go on to the knobheads that watch this channel. So, not my channel, obviously. I mean the LBC official. So here we go. This caller is the reason we should turn the internet off. Well, not really, because 15-minute cities are real. You're denying them. Who's the stupid one, really, when they're out in the open talking about it? Next one is free speech, yada yada. Along for the days when thick people don't have a platform, so we didn't have to hear them as much. Well, you're the kind of person that probably promotes mass immigration and quite content with becoming a minority in your own country. Who's the thick person, really? Didn't think smart could be in this guy's vocabulary. I mean, these lefties are so, they're supposed to be for the working man, but they're so patronising, and they seem to get a kick out of downtrodden, the ordinary working man who's got concerns. Next one, the funny thing about these people is the fact they believe the rest of us are idiots for not believing this nonsense. Well, like I've done already, little old me has just typed in governing smart cities, and let's mention you, Les. What about you, Les? It wasn't so long ago there's rumours about pay for mile coming in. The low emission zone, you have to pay to go in, you have to pay to go out. So it's not something that's made up. It's you just not bothering your ass to look it up. But again, ignorance is bliss for so long. After everything that's happened in the last couple of years, there's plenty of people I feel sorry for that got forced to taking them jabs. But I don't really care if people like yourselves did take them, because you clearly haven't learnt anything, and generally you're fucking horrible people. Reading these comments. Next one, for fuck's sake, are these people allowed to vote? It sounds like a Reform Party member. Yeah, because Labour is doing a fantastic job at the minute, trying to defend the grooming gangs, keeping the borders wide open, chucking our own people out on the streets so they can import our replacement from the third world, from South Central Asia, from Africa. Total denial. Whether reform is going to be any good, I don't know. This is quite a good one, actually. So how are people's brains so pickled? But the idea of everything you need is within a 15-minute walk of your house is a bad thing, which must be a grand conspiracy. Right, I do get your point there, to be fair. So it's what's the old saying about hell? It's the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So the climate change thing, which ties in neatly with this conversation that they're having. So this is another opportunity for the global elite, the rich, if you want to use it in your terminology. That's the global elite. They want to push the climate change narrative like they tried doing with Greta Thunberg, all based on emotion, rather than what's going on. We had a cold snap a couple of days ago where it was like -4, -5, and obviously we're back up to sort of normal, sort of 10 degrees, quite mild really. I think it's 8 degrees today, which is still quite chilly. And tomorrow might be a bit warmer, sort of 10 degrees, but we're not talking like it's 30 degrees or something, are we? It's been cold the last couple of weeks. Fairly normal, and even if it's not necessarily normal, who's to say it's got anything to do with us? Why don't you point a finger at China or India, or even your beloved Keir Starmer flying around the world in private jets, or Taylor Swift, or all these celebrities, all these lefty celebrities travelling around the world in private jets. So yeah, the 15-minute city walk thing, well, the idea being is that's what you're contained in. Look back only 4 or 5 years ago where you had zones, you had restrictions, you were locked in your house for all day, but the government would let you out for an hour a day to go and do some fitness if you complied with it, which I'm proud to say I didn't. I was out all day, to the point where I had sunburn, and I came back to work, more or less brown, because I've been out in the sun that much because the weather was so good. Because they weren't spreading all that shit in the sky every day during that time period as well. So yeah, the idea being, it's within a 15-minute walk, but you ain't going anywhere other than that, and that's you. You never seen the movie Hunger Games. That's your future, but you fucking lefties are going to make that future for us. Next one, the bloke is off his rocker. Dear Christ alive, mate, sit down before you hurt yourself. It just goes on and on. You just don't seem to be able to grasp the agendas that they're already putting plainly in front of you. I mean, I'll just give an example here. I'll just type in something like UN Agenda 2030. I've got my tripod set up today, so it's a bit smarter. There's not as much wobble as usual when I'm doing it freehand. 2030, Agenda for Sustainable Development. So that's obviously just a far right conspiracy theory, just like all the people in the hotels. So let's go back to 1948, for example, the Windrush generation, or the 60s. When the government started bringing loads of people in. If someone had said back then, these people are going to turn us into a minority within, don't know what, how long would it be? 52, 11, 60, oh, that's funny, 63 years. Yeah, so by 2011 we became a minority, 3/6. I mean, I might be going far-fetched, but like 666 is what I'm getting at. But yeah, so 52 at 11 was when people in London became a minority. Which is, but yeah, to the point, obviously, is that you would have been labelled as a far-right conspiracy theorist back then for saying that you were going to become a minority. And the government did that to people without them being consenting. So why on earth are you so trusting and naive of the government? And just to add as well, going to 2011, what happened in 2011 when we got there? Massive riots. That was like them showing us, one, they've taken over, two, I know it obviously started with Mark Duggan, a mixed race drug dealer who got shot by the police, and it sparked it all off. But that kicked it all off, and it was a kind of what it did. It's a warning of that's the future, basically. And you're seeing it now. I've got a video to do in a minute about this, but 2011 census, 45% of Londoners white British. So yeah, 63 years it was, or 3/6, whichever way around you want to do it. So going back to these people, I'd say bloody LBC needs shutting down. It's it's a place for the lefties to go and believe in the government, believe in the rich, as you call it. In some ways, as I say, I feel sorry for the people who regret taking them pokes in the arm, 4 years ago. Plenty of good people did, plenty of people got pressured into it. But for a lot of people at LBC, they'd be the kind of scumbags defending the grooming gangs at the minute, and I've got no sympathy for you at all. And ignorance is bliss only for so long. You never know what could be on the way. We could be on the next round 2 of bloody 2020 style face nappies and so on. And, thankfully you'll go along with it all. Yeah, it's so arrogant as well, like this guy here, no doubt a reform voter. All the damage Labour's doing to the country now. And one last one, actually. So why a 15-minute city is bad? It's literally all about sensible urban planning, so don't waste your time in commute etc. Well, if they're that concerned about our travel, why have they made trains so expensive? It's cheaper to get on a plane and fly abroad than get on a train anywhere in the country now. Why have they made the roads so bad where the potholes are everywhere? Why is it they've flooded so many areas with people that as a result the roads get congested? Do you not see there's like bigger agendas at plan here, at work here? Anyway, I'll give up. I've said my little point. That's it for that one. Cheers.